Okay, this is my class evaluation discussion over the business program that we have throughout the school year. I'll say this at times is very frustrating for me because some of the terminologies in regards to business I couldn't really grasp at the time, so I'd have to read over. Concepts really got under my skin at times because it's like they would ask you the same questions over and over again to make sure that you were understanding what you were doing. So it was frustrating why they would do that, and they'd rewords. You'd get four or five or six of them right, and you still won't get the sales built up or whatever. So that was kind of like frustrating to me. Overall, portion one of the early parts of the class we did the business treads. You know what I'm saying? Cultivating a business device, and then talking about the global environments. And I think that's big when it comes to business. Like a lot of this McGraw Hill stuff, it's really handy. I actually wish I had a paperback copy of it because, like when you're talking about a business and you're going into it for yourself, a lot of us we probably won't go global with the business and things that we tend to start, but I mean it's good to understand that just in case you do decide to go global in something. Exploring the business environment and the economic stuff. It's like exploring what you're trying to do in your world of business and just looking at it from an economic standpoint. Is it going to make me money? Am I going to lose money? What am I going to profit from this? How much am I going to lose for this? That comes in with the thing as far as your goods. Goods are the tangible products such as computers, food, clothing, cars, and appliances. Like all that stuff is big to me because like a lot of stuff, like I say, starting off I didn't really understand. It was very frustrating to me. But the more and more I read, the book, just like the standard of living. Like a lot of us, like if we was to have a business and how we talked about in this chapter, we just throughout the course of this business class, the standards of living. Like a lot of people, I feel that have a business tend to go outside of standards of living, meaning that they tend to spend more money than what they have, or they're taking their profits from their business and putting them elsewhere as opposed to putting them back in their business. Just a plethora of things. The factors of productions. I felt that that's going to be one of the biggest aspects of my business. I feel because that's when you have to take your resources that you use to create your wealth. Which that being land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, the knowledge of something. That's going to be big because you got to factor in all that stuff. And as far as the production of your business, you got to start looking. Is the land going to have enough laborers or people to work for my company? Do I got enough capital to or so forth? So a lot of that stuff that played a big part in the chapters too. The other thing that I was thinking, demanding the ethical and social responsibilities of behavior within a business. I feel that's big because you have to portray the role to where you want everyone to like you. You don't want anyone disliking you for any reason. You don't want people going around saying, "Oh well, his business isn't that. He only caters to black people, or he only likes white people coming in, or he doesn't like these type of people, and he's me." No, you want everyone to come. Hey, you know what? The guy's always smiling. He's always uppity. He always offers to buy us a drink, or he always offers to give us a free appetizer, and or he always offers to let us bring money back if we don't have it, and so forth. And just a lot of stuff. You just want your customers to always speak good about you. You really don't want them to actually say a lot of bad things about your business. If they do, that's where your money will not come in because your clientele or people won't become your clientele because they're going to go elsewhere because they're going to always hear the buzz about your business not being right or whatever. So another thing, just the business ownership. Starting a small business. A portion of that chapter in the book, as we were getting like early on into the school world, whatever this semester. It was decent because it was teaching us how to form a business and your entrepreneurship, and then if you are to start a small business, It was teaching you the things that, as far as business management and empowering your employees to satisfy your customers. Just like I said earlier, like you want your employees to be a version of you. People saying, "Oh, well, his employees are just like him. They're snobby. They don't. It takes them too long to do this, and they wasn't very nice, and they didn't dress nice. They smelled bad, or whatever the case is. Whatever you just don't want that. Period. Like, just to have a just leadership. You know what I'm saying, and just like a structuring organization for today's challenges. That was we read that in the chapters. Production and operations management. I felt that's I don't know as far as how is I don't know if that would be best on because as far as production, like you can have that's producing productions of your goods, but at the same time, as they're producing your goods to come to you, there could be a holdup at a port. Stuff could be on back order because the company are behind on materials or whatever, and then you got to go through someone else. So it's kind of like that's like a double standard. I feel because you sometimes you really can't be responsible for. I mean, you could order some stuff in advance. They could still say, "Hey, you know what?" And you have to go with this company because for one, it's going to be a better number on your product, so you're still going to be able to save money. And for two, normally it's in a timely fashion, but for some reason this time it's just straight because they're so busy. So yeah, like later in the chapters we were talking about managing of human resources. Motivating your employees to produce. Just like I was just talking about, like you have to motivate your employees to produce. You don't want them walking trying to take multiple cigarette breaks or trying to use their idle time to hide out and sleep and all that. No. Although, give them their fair share of breaks or whatever, true, but you want them to be able to. Mr. King was big on that. Like some of the videos that he showed us throughout the course, some of them was touching, some of them was rather irritating because you really didn't know what side to lean toward as far as certain things they were talking about. But I felt the most videos that were the most touching was the one with the guy that had no arms and legs. It was just like incredible. I mean, for someone to just have to endure that, every day you get up, you know, you'll be motivated to push yourself to go forth and strive and have an up and running business, writing books and whatever. Another one was the guy that money to like charity and I want to say benefit stuff. I can't think of his name. I think it was the foreign guy, but let's see, I can't remember. I can't remember that. Was marketing. I love when you talked about the marketing aspect in this course because marketing helps your buyers buy. So you have to have a good marketing scheme. And I felt I wish we could in regards to marketing because there's so many different ways that you can market stuff now. What you got it's just a lot of different ways. But I wish we could have spoke more on that. A lot of our discussions were open. I feel a lot of people did some decent discussions. I feel at times some people kind of like shortchange the discussions, maybe because that's just all they had to say. But I mean, it is what it is. So, but the managing of the business information when you use the technology to manage your info, understanding your account and your finances information, managing financial resources and stuff, man. Just working with working within the legal environment. Then you got to worry about your managing risk, managing personal finance and investing. A lot of these things I went back into chapters at times because when I would do the video discussions or have to take a test or we did the other little things where we had the concepts. Like I went back at certain times in the chapters and it was frustrating me because I'm like, I don't understand it. I still don't understand. Like I wanted to call Mr. King at times. I wish I could have sent him an email, but I just finally sit down and I looked at it and looked at how it was worded and what they were saying, and for it to make under sense. But as far as starting our business, like there's so many things that we have to try to get down. We have to try to make people understand, because it's like, what kind of product can I put out that someone doesn't have, or what kind of sale that's going to be different from this restaurants, or what kind of clothing seen, or just you gotta be different. You have to dare to be different. But the biggest thing I loved about this talking about, don't be in it to take losses. Know what you're doing. Have your money, have things ready, because you don't necessarily have to take a loss. You just have to be focused enough to know that the product or whatever you're doing is going to be good enough. Someone's going to want it again. Timely manners, the environment, the laborers, which is your employees that you have, you as a person, the time you're going to be putting in toward this stuff. So I mean, it's gonna all that's going to be making that's going to be making a big deal about managing risk. So I mean, it's a lot that comes with it. We had here we were talking about short-term financing, forms of short-term loans. I can't wait to go through this process, because I don't, secured loans, the unsecured loan, line of credit, the Commerce Bank offers several. I mean, it's just like, it's just so much that we're going to have to know, because we have to know the need for operating funds. Like, we have to know this type of stuff, short-term financing, obtaining short-term financing, and time value of cash. Like, there was just so much like that Mr. King gave us in this little bit of time. And we're still not done. Like, I can only imagine just having to memorize all the technologies from business. I have so many, like the financial planning, and working with the budget process. I mean, it was just a plethora of things. And I mean, I can go on. I'm at 12 minutes now. I'm still talking. I'm still full of it. And like I say, at times, certain things was frustrating, because I was just wish that we could have actually been in the actual classroom with Mr. King and seen some of his facial expressions doing some of our, like, if we were to able to get up in front of a class and do some of our videos as opposed to uploading them every time. I thought that would have been something that we would have been, because we actually could have seen someone's actual expression versus looking at all of us in class versus just posting it and YouTubing it and everybody that way, as opposed to you having to scroll through and say, oh well, this video's too long, or this one's too, I don't want to look at this. You have to actually see everyone's video, and then you would still be able to decide what three you wanted to do, because you actually got to see everyone. But yeah, so the my biggest thing when I want to start my business is I definitely want to have my financial planning down. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. You know, I got to develop a budget that's going to help. It's going to help mine and help me need. I got to get control to make sure the company is achieving its goals. So I mean, I don't want to half step. I don't want to start a business and then start tippy toeing and pussyfooting around and making bad decisions, or spending more versus making less. Or so I want to be able to make sure I got control of. I definitely, the balance sheet, the income statement, the statement of cash flow, all that good things. So it's big on me in this. I already talked about money. Um, you got to be smart with the money and finance too. You got I don't say that we're all going to be able to have these things, which is your CFO, which is your chief financial officer, the CFP, certified financial planner, CFA, certified financial analysis, and a controller, the chief accounting officer. We all probably won't have a company where we're going to be enduring all that stuff, unless you just have one person that's skilled enough to cover all those tasks. But I don't think we're all going to be able to pay, multiple people to do those things. I just can't foresee it. But with all this being said, Phil, Mr. King, it was definitely he was a very good instructor. I mean, he pretty much got to the point of cut and paste. He's experienced it. He's been through it, and then like just like as we didn't know much about him, but when we actually seen the video for him helping the kid from Kirksville develop the tool to use his head for his book or whatever, it like that just shows like his determination too, because he didn't have to put forth the effort or do any of that stuff. He chose that from within his heart. He's like, I want to do this for this kid. I don't, he didn't bow down. He made it happen. So that's how some of us have to be within our business. And we have to make sure that we're on the same page like Mr. King. But with that being said, man, yeah, it's I don't want to keep y'all going 15 minutes in. I could probably talk for another 15 or 20 if I wanted to. I mean, like literally, I have pages and pages of notes from like the whole semester of business class. Let's see, talking about the organization, operations, staffing, new products, customer relations, new markets, just like types of information. Like it's just there was so much stuff in this book pertaining to business. Like I can only imagine if most of us start our businesses and we're going to be successful, and the ones of us that go on to have like corporations, I can only imagine. Say, wow, Mr. King's class actually did something for me. Like I actually learned, I benefited from it. My business is doing well. Like we're gonna have to repay you, man. We're gonna have to send you something. But with that being said, man, I guess that's pretty much it. This is my class discussion slash evaluation over Mr. King's class. Let's see. So I like the brand manager. I wouldn't mind looking into getting one of the introduction responsibilities of a brand manager. What is the difference between a brand name and a trademark? Talking about that, like that just comes back to what I was talking about as far as having like a clothing. What can you have that someone else doesn't have, or this? You want to. So I think it'll be good that I definitely trademark something, whether it be a clothing line or a sandwich or a drink. I'm definitely going to be in the trademark business for sure. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you all liked my video. I will hopefully see you all in next semester's classes and or whatever. On and on for like I have pages of notes that can go on for days. But I hope you all enjoy my video. Thank you. Have a nice day.